So let's come to our feet. So as we stand here with our feet hip width apart, let's roll the shoulders back. Allow the arms just to hang light and loose beside us and lift the chest. Standing tall. So feel like you're pressing your heels into the floor, and at the same time is a very gentle tuck so that we can lengthen up to find length from the tail to the top of our head, keeping as upright as you can, and also stay aware of the natural curves of our spine as we stand with the hip bones facing forwards. Take a deep breath in and then out. So notice your breath move full and wide. So we're going to breathe laterally through the rib cage and then allow our breath to settle down as the ribs draw down towards the hips, all while feeling like we are bringing the belly button in towards the spine. So feel that hollowing sensation, that mild drawing in effect of the belly button coming in towards the spine. And then start to rock forwards and back. So your weight is shifting towards the toes and then back towards the heels, gently rocking through the ankles. And then here we go side to side, gently sway, keeping the shoulders above the hips. So imagine it's a bit like a pendulum swing. Continue with that feeling of the belly button drawing in. And this time, as we go to the right, squeeze the right buttock and lift your left leg. And then step down. Squeeze the left buttock and lift the right leg. So just work with our balance as we stand. Good. Squeezing the bottom to help you balance. Continue to draw the belly button towards the spine. Breathing out to lift, breathing in to hold, breathing out to lower. So just do one more from here. Keeping as steady as you can. Good. So then with our feet hip width apart, we're going to lift both heels and both arms come in front to shoulder height. Then as we hold it here, squeeze the bottom and circle one arm round, followed by the other. Drawing the shoulder down as you move through the shoulder. One more each side, trying to keep your balance with the heels up. You'll squeeze the bottom to help you balance. Good. And then bringing the arms and the heels down. So come into a side bend to your left. And then at the center, squeeze the right buttock and lift the left leg and the left arm. And then come down. Good. Right side bend. Just that little squeeze in the waist. And then right arm and leg lifts. Continuing with the belly button towards you. We go into our left side. Come back to center. And lift up the arm and leg. Good. And then down. Excellent. And then here, roll the shoulders. And again, lift the heels and the hands so the arms come to shoulder height. And then from here, we're going to turn the waist, open the arm to your left. Look at the hand. Come back to center. And then the other side, keeping the hip bones facing forward. Come back to center. So feel a little turn of the waist there. One more each side. And then bringing the arms and the heels down, roll the shoulders. Good. From here, take a step forward, come down onto your mat, come to kneel in. And we're going to take your left leg out to the side and square off the hips a little bit. If you can, have that foot flat to the floor. You should notice a stretch on the inside leg. So we slide down the leg, but then we're going to slowly take the hand down to then lift the leg. So take your time as you come down into the straight leg. Come back to center. Place the hand down slowly and then get there and lift the leg to hold. Keep the belly button drawn in. Pop the foot down. Take your time. Come on up. And then find the side bend again, keeping the chest up. Good. Popping the hand down. We lift the leg, squeeze the bottom to help. And then pop the leg down. Keeping the chest lifted and the shoulders back. So try not to lean forward. If you find it better to have something on the floor, like a pillow or block or something, to put your hand on, so you haven't got to go down so low, that's okay. You can try that. Do one more here before changing sides. Good. And then we're going to come back up and change sides. So you might want to shuffle along the mat for space. And we take the other leg out to the side. Once it's there, try to square off through the hips so the shoulders are above the hips, or as you can get them there. And then notice a stretch on the inside leg. And when you're ready, breathe out, slide down. Breathe in and breathe out, come back. Then slowly lower the hand down, go where you can with it. If you need something on the floor to put your hand on, so you haven't gone so low, that's okay. Put it there. Still feeling the belly button towards the spine. Lifting the leg. Good. So we squeeze one side of the waist and open through the other. Excellent. And let's do one more. Good. And then from here, come into all fours with your hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. And what we'll do is we'll combine our cat stretch with an opposite arm and leg reach. So tuck the tail and arch your back up. Tuck the chin and look back towards your thighs. And then take the tail out behind you, lengthening your spine, draw the shoulders back. And then reach out, opposite ends, continuing with the belly button towards you. Putting the hand and the leg down. And we change. So we come up through the cat stretch and prepare then for the other side. Lengthening out, drawing the shoulders back. Keep looking at the floor and then reaching from the midline out as you draw up through the abdomen. Continue with the belly button towards the spine, easing up, and then take the tail out, lengthening the spine, draw the shoulders back, and then reach through. So feeling that mobility within this cat stretch. Then encouraging stability as we lengthen out, keeping the midsection of the body still. So let's do one more each side. Tuck the tail, rounding up as if the mid to upper back is drawing up towards the ceiling. Take the tail out behind you, lengthening the spine, shoulders draw back, we're looking down, and we breathe out to extend the arm and leg. So one more. And then once completed, take the knees a little wider and sit back into the heels. Take the arms forward, the chest down, and ease through the back. Just finding a little stretch there. Then from here, come to lie on your side. And we're going to have our head on the pillow. arms in front, and we're going to move through the upper back in particular. So have your head at the front of the pillow, lie on your side with your knees bent, one hand directly on top of the other, coming to a sideline open door, shoulders above the hips, belly button drawing in. So take a breath in, and as you breathe out, turn the waist first, then open the arm, turn your head and look back at your thumb. Keep the hip bones facing forwards, breathe in, and then breathe out as the arm comes back down. Press your palms together, take a breath in, prepare, and then a breath out to continue. So returning the waist, opening the chest and moving through the upper back. Good. Continue to focus on that core connection, belly button towards the spine. So starting with an out breath. Immobilize the thoracic spine, feel the shoulder blade coming towards the spine behind you as we do 2 more, all while keeping the belly button drawing in. Looking at your thumb, following it round. And then allowing the arms to settle when you're ready. Good. So before we do the other side, come on up to seated. And we'll take a little side stretch. So the arm that was opening is the arm we reach across. Keeping your bottom on the floor. Good. And then we can prepare to come back down to the other side. So lying on your side, head on the pillow, just to support your neck. Have a couple of pillows if you need to. And one hand directly on top of the other. Remember, the legs are stacked, shoulders are stacked, arms the same length, so adjust if you need to. And then drawing the tummy, breathe out to begin. Turn the waist, open the arm, take a look back at your thumb, and then gently come back down. So take your time, we don't need to rush. The whole time we're keeping the hip bones facing forwards. Feeling that turn of the waist as we revolve through the body. Breathing out to open. Breathing in to hold. And breathing out to come back. So do notice again the shoulder blade draw in towards the spine behind you. Just do a couple more. Finding that mobilization through the thoracic spine in the upper back. Feeling that turn of the waist and that the chest is opening on that side. All while keeping the hips stacked and the legs still. And then just allow the arms to settle. And then from here again, we can come up to seated and take the arm that was opening over. Good. Opening through the side body there. Then let's come to lie on your back. If you want the pillow or something there underneath your head, please do. So as you lie on your back, just then let the arms lengthen down beside you. Feet at hip width, heels in line with the sit bones. Draw the belly button in towards the spine, hollow between the hips. Notice the natural curves of your spine. Then from here, let's just begin. Opposite arm and leg lengthening away. Just a bit like we did in all fours really, but now we're on our back. And then bring them back down. So engage through the center. Feel a little bit of tension in the torso, with the belly button feeling like it's coming in away from the waistband of your trouser to you. Hollowing between the hips, just working with your breath there. So breathing out as you extend. Breathing in to hold. Breathing out to release. Now next time, if you wish, we could take both arms back and one leg extends. So with the weight of both arms going back, pay a little bit more attention on the placement of the ribs. Breathe out, draw the ribs down as the arms go back. So try and feel that your out breath is helping to guide your ribs down towards your hips as your belly button comes in towards your spine. So it's almost like that connection is meeting internally from within. Lower back stays still, neutral space. So here, let's do one more on each leg. Keep the belly button coming in away from the waistband of the trouser, hollowing gently. And then once completed, just let the arms open out and the knees just rock side to side. So allow these knees to roll, moving through the waist, the hips, the lower back. Keeping the shoulder blades and the arms on the floor. The upper body is still. So one more each side. And then from here, we're going to bring the legs back to center. Separate the feet to hip width. And we're going to start to come into tabletop. So allow one leg to lift as you continue with the belly button drawing in, hollowing between the hip bones. Keep that in a connection as the other leg then lifts as well. Holding it there. Feel a little bit of a deeper connection through the tummy. And then place one foot back down, followed by the other. So we lead with the other leg. Breathe out, lift the knee. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lift the second leg. Keep the belly button drawn in as you do that. Really focus on that. And then place one foot down and then the other. So two more. And our focus here is when the second leg lifts, we don't want the belly to pop out or the body to move. We really control it by drawing the tummy in. Placing one foot down and then the other. So one more time, lifting up. Breathe out, lift one leg. Keep that core connection and lift the other leg. Holding them there. Good. Then from here, taking the knees side to side, just as we did with the feet down. Now, if you prefer to have your feet down like we did before, if there's any concerns with your back, please do that anyway. But here with the legs up, it's a little bit stronger. We feel a little bit more of a connection through the waist and the lower abdomen. Then this time, as you take your legs to one side, when they get there, can you extend the legs to that end of the room? Then bend the knees and bring them back to center. Taking the legs to the other side, extend, bend the knees and back into center. Good, just a couple more each way, but of course if you'd rather your feet on the floor or just keeping them bent throughout, please do. Feel that your upper body's anchoring you to the floor. Back of the arms, shoulder blades are staying down. One more each side if you can, or just rest. Bring the knees to chest if you wish. Good, and then from here, bringing both knees in, and as you hug the knees in, circle the knees away and around, moving through the lower back, the hips, the pelvis. Just mobilizing here. A couple more. And then bringing the knees in, curling up towards them, and straighten one leg out as we come into our single leg stretch. So here, we extend one leg and bring the other one in. Keep the chin tucked in, but if you prefer to have your head back down on the floor, please do that, especially if your neck is a bit tense. So breathing out with each move. Continuing with the belly button drawing in towards the spine, and try and notice the lower abdomen as the leg goes long and low. Shoulder blades are off the floor if you're in that curled up position, and we just try a couple more on each side, each leg. Good, and then take a release, long legs, long arms, big, big stretch through the mat, lengthen out for the whole body. And then here, let's roll over on to your side with straight legs here, nice and long. So feet under hips, hips under shoulders, head in the arm, and we're just going to have one leg directly on top of the other. Now, if it's a bit wobbly, bend the bottom leg and find a little bit more support there. Here we're going to squeeze the bottom and draw in through the belly, and you may feel the waist comes up from underneath you a little. Lengthen the top leg, squeeze the bottom there and circle from the hip. Now really squeeze the bottom, start to be aware of that gluteal squeeze. Keep that core connection, we want to keep our torso stable. If you do need to bend the bottom leg underneath you, do so. Even as we circle this leg, we're promoting length. So keep that leg lengthening down the side body as much as you can. Breathe out as you start the circle and take a breath in as it completes. As we now change direction in the circle, same leg, just take it around the other way as you continue to squeeze into the bottom and the outer thigh, outer hip. So we just do a couple more. And then from here, bending both knees in front of you. Might want to give a little tap to release. You come into clam, heels together, knees together. Open the top knee, dig your heels together and turn the toes up to get mobility in the ankle also. And then lower it down. So breathe out as you open the knee. Breathe in, hold, squeeze a bit more into the bottom here. And breathe out to lower. Good. Continuing with the belly button towards you, feel the waist draw up from under you. Become a little bit more aware of the outer hip area, outer buttock area. That's where we're working, this gluteus medius, stabilizing muscle here of the hip. Let's do 3 more. So take your time, keep the hip bones facing forwards. They remain perfectly still. Because we're only opening the knee so far that we're not rolling back. We remain stacked in the hips. 1 more. Good. And then have a little release there. So from here, coming up to seated before we go the other way. And this time, with your legs out, take the top leg over the other one. Hug the knee in, really close to the chest. With a hand down, we lift the chest and turn and look back. But really draw the knee into your chest. Find that stretch coming from the outside of the leg. And then release there. So let's prepare for the other side. Coming onto your other side with your head at the other end of the mat. Still facing the screen so we can all see. So stack ourselves nice and long in the legs, the hips. and even the shoulders, one on top of the other. Let's lengthen the top leg as if you're making it longer than the other one. Squeeze the bottom, circle from the hip. And as you lie here, feel the belly button draw in, feel the waist try to draw up from underneath you at the same time. All these muscles work together to stabilize us. So breathing out as you start the circle, breathe in as it completes, as we mobilize from the hip while squeezing the bottom to remain stable. Remember, you can always bend the bottom leg underneath you if it's a little bit wobbly down there. Might be different from one side to the other, so let's recognize it. As we then take the circle in the other direction. So taking your time, working with your breath, keeping the length in that top leg as we do 3 more circles. And then allow the leg to settle. Bend the knees, heels together, one leg directly on top of the other, and we come into clam. So open the knee, dig the heels together, squeeze the outer glute, and then bring the knee down. Good. So remember, we only open the knee so far that the hips remain stacked, the hip bones are facing forward, just like headlights to the front. So keep the belly button drawn in, feel the waist draw up from underneath, and really press into the heels as you open the knee. Squeezing that top bum cheek into the other one, targeting the outer part of the buttock. Stay aware of keeping that core connection though. And we'll just do a couple more here. Taking your time, working with your breath. And then allow the leg to settle. Good. So come up to seated, let's take a little release. And here, that top leg is the one that comes over the other. Hug the knee in. Sitting upright, lift the chest, turn the waist, look over your shoulder. Then come to lie on your front. We're going to take the arms in a surrender position. As you lie on your front, you may want a pillow or something under your forehead so we're not squishing our face. Have the legs slightly apart. And your arms are in a surrender position to the outside or edge of the mat. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. Keep the belly button in. And here, take a breath in as you lengthen up via the breastbone through to the crown of your head. We can keep a small range of movement here if you prefer, or maybe go a little bit further, lengthening the arms and then gently lower. So keep the bottom squeezed so we can protect the lower back whilst we work it. That's where we're working. Relax the shoulders. Belly in, breathe out, lengthen up via the breastbone through to the crown of your head. Draw the elbows in, keep the chin tucked in, and then gently lower. So we feel the length come from the spine to include the neck. Take your time. Remember, you can keep a small range with your forearms staying on the floor. And as you lower this time, keep the bottom squeezed, and can you let both legs float out behind you? Then the legs come down, the chest lengthens up, the shoulders slide back, and the chin tucks in. So keep the belly button drawn in, keep the bottom squeezed. And just notice that strength in your lower back as you maintain that core connection for support. Let it feel light in the arms. So avoid pushing down. Instead, feel like you're lengthening up. So let's try a couple more, but of course, if you'd rather rest before or instead, please feel free just to relax where you are. And then when you're ready, just settle there. We can just wiggle around a little bit through the hips to loosen up. And then come up onto your hands and knees and sit back into your heels. Take a little stretch through the back with the arms forward. So now let's roll over onto your back. We'll prepare for some bridges after that extension of the spine. It's good to find a little bit of flexion and mobility. So here, lying on your back, let the arms lengthen and ensure your heels are in line with your sit bones, your knees are in line with your toes. Continue with the belly button towards the spine and just tilt your pelvis, squeeze your bottom and peel each segment of the spine away from the floor as you lift up through the hips. Coming into our bridge, shoulders, hips, knees in line. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, melt down through the spine, easing down into it. Allow the body to come down slowly. Bottom down last. So just focus on that movement, that mobility through the spine as we come up through each segment of the spine slowly. Keeping the feet flat to the floor, we squeeze the bottom. Coming into bridge, shoulders, hips, knees, like a slope. Melting into the mat, slowly coming down, allow the bottom to come down last. Good. So we can always stay with that, it's all good. Or next time we come into bridge, we're going to hold the hips up, continue to squeeze the bottom. So we go high in the hips. And then lift up your heels, come onto the balls of your feet. Lower your heels and do that again, keeping your hips high. And then when the heels are down, bring the body down. So finding bridge for 2 heel lifts. Focusing on that gluteal squeeze to keep your hips up. Continuing with the belly button towards the spine for that core stability. Allowing our body weight to feel centered. Squeeze the bottom. Breathe out, lift the heels. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lower. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift. Lower the heels down. And then bring the body down. Upper back, middle back, lower back, bottom last. So tilting the pelvis, squeezing the bottom, easing your way up through the spine. And this time, if you're happy with those heel lifts, can we include the arms lifting as well? So heels and hands coming off the floor and then down. And again, hands come up just above your chest or your body there. And then down. And then bring the body down. So wherever you are, whether it's just a regular bridge, just working with the heels or the heels and the hands, let's do 2 more. Keep the belly button to you. Squeeze the bottom throughout. Find your bridge, high hips. Breathing out, lift the heels and the hands if that's where you're going, or just one or the other. Good. Draw the shoulders down as the arms move. Gently melting down, segmentally through each part of the spine. Let's do 1 more. tilting the pelvis, squeezing the bottom, peeling off the floor through each segment of the spine. Heels and hands, but remember they are options, the options that we've been through. And gently come down, allowing your bottom to come down last. Gently bring the knees in, circling the knees away and around. And then popping the feet down. Take your knees to one side and then allow the top leg to extend over the bottom leg and support that leg with your hands. Then bring the knees together. Slowly take the leg to the other side and allow the top leg to come over and extend. Good. Then from here, bringing the knees together, and let's pick up the band, if you have a band, that's it, just to hook one foot into the band for a little bit more of a stretch. So holding the leg up, and if you've got the band there, hold the band at length so your elbows are on the floor. Straighten the other leg down the mat, but please, if the lower back doesn't like it, bring that other knee back in for support in neutral spine. Here, as you breathe out, guide that top leg in towards you. Push the heel up towards the ceiling and notice the back of your thigh, our hamstring muscles. Holding it there with your bottom glued to the mat. Continue with the belly button drawing in. And then slowly lower that leg down as we move it into an active stretch and stop just above the mat. Pushing your foot forward, keep the belly button to the spine. Take a breath in. And then a breath out to draw the leg up and in towards you. Again, guiding the leg in. Let the shoulders relax. And then point your toes towards the ceiling. You may find a stretch in the front of your foot. Then flex your foot through the ankle, flexing, and then heel up, and you may find it shifts down through to the calf. So let's do that again. We point and we flex. Good. Then lower the leg down one more time. Keep the belly button to the spine, remain in a neutral space. Hold it just above the floor, take a breath in, and then a breath out guides us back up again. Can we bring it in a little bit further than where we began, or maybe just accept it where it is? Good. So let's change legs. Put the other foot in the band, or just replace one leg with the other. Remember, if it's comfortable, straighten the other leg along the mat. Guide the top leg in towards you, keeping your bottom on the floor, and notice the back of the thigh. It might feel like you're trying to iron out that leg. Then here, slowly lower the leg down to stop just above the mat. Push the foot forward, keep the belly button towards you. Tighten up the front of the thigh, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, guide the leg in again. Can you bring it in a bit further to you? Hold it at the top there. Accept that stretch. Then, as before, let's point the toe. Maybe you find a stretch in the front of your foot. And then flex it, the ankle, press the heel up, and that may even shift into the calf. So one more time to point and flex. Flexing at the ankle, sole of your foot looks at the ceiling. And then we lower and lift that leg one more time. Continue with that core connection. Keep your bottom glued to the mat. And allow an out breath to draw the leg up, maybe a bit further than where you began. See how we go there. Come to your range of movement. Remember, it's tension, not pain. And just hold it there for 3 more breaths. Good. Releasing that leg when you're ready. Removing the band. From here, take your knees to one side. Rolling over, come up onto your knees. So we can just transition to our feet. So tuck the toes, bring the hands back, press the heels into the floor, come into a standing forward fold. And let the head and the hands just hang. Better softness about the knees. Continue with the belly button drawing in and tuck the tail very, very slowly. We roll up. Feel like you're rebuilding the spine, putting everything back in its place one at a time. Gradually coming up, lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders back, looking forward as we lift our head last and roll the shoulders back and down. Standing here nice and tall with the feet hip width, second toe pretty much under the hip bones. So here, continue with that core connection even in this upright standing position. Take a breath in and then out. Feel that breath, move full and wide. And then lift the heels, bring the arms up to shoulder height. And open the arms wide and open your chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good, bring the arms back in and then down. So come up into the space above your head as you lift the heels. The arms float. Squeeze the bottom to help you balance. Open the arms and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Bring the arms back in and then down. Just a couple more. Drawing the shoulders down, the elbows remain soft. Lengthen spine with the chest lifted. We squeeze the upper back and open the chest. One more time. And from here, as the arms come back in, link your hands, take them forward, lower the heels and tuck the chin. Looking down to the feet or the floor, notice maybe there's a stretch across the upper back, as if we're separating the shoulder blades. Then bring the arms behind you and open the chest again. Draw the shoulders back, lift the chest and stand tall. Take a little turn of your head, moving through the range of movement of your neck. Come back to center. And then the other side. Come back to center. Release the arms, roll the shoulders, and standing here as upright as you can. Notice the length of your whole body. As you push the heels down, there's a gentle tuck of the tail, a lift of the chest as we find length from the tail to the top of your head. So now standing into our own true height. Take a deep breath in. And then out. Stay aware of that full and wide breath. Stay aware of that gentle drawing in. So just another breath here to be aware of. And with your next out breath, we can just soften the knees, give the legs a little shake and loosen up. Thank you very much indeed. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.